Welcome back to AJJ Quiz. Let's dive into the first question. Which organ produces the hormone EPO in adults? The correct answer is B, kidney. What is the name of the tiny bone in the middle ear? The correct answer is occiput. Which vitamin can the skin synthesize when exposed to UVB light? Correct answer is B, vitamin D. Which cell type is primarily responsible for producing myelin in the central nervous system? The correct answer is B. Which part of the eye contains the lobes and the cones, the photoreceptor? The correct answer is retina, B. What is the digestive tract or pear patch mainly found? In the ileum. What is the main gas transported inside red blood cell bound in hemoglobin? The correct answer is oxygen. Which structure prevents food from entering the trachea during swallowing? Epiglottis. Which muscle is the primary diaphragm antagonist during forced exhalation? The correct answer is internal intercostal. Which muscle is the primary energy currency inside the cell? ATP. Which blood type is considered the universal plasma donor? AB. Which component of bone gives it tensile strength? Collagen. Which cranial nerve controls facial expression muscle? Facial nerve 17. Which organ stores bile produced by the liver? Gallbladder. Where is the sonotrio node located? The right atrium. Which taste sensation is primarily detected by V protein coupled receptor? The beta. What is the functional unit of the kidney that filters blood? The nephron. Which tissue lines inside the blood vessel? Endothelium. Which hormone raises blood glucose by stimulating hepatic glucogenosis? Glucagon. Which ion is essential for rapid depolarization of skeletal muscle action potential? Sodium. Which structure connects muscle to bone? Tendon. In which part of the cell does the citric acid cycle occur? The mitochondria matrix. Which vitamin is required for normal blood clotting? Bicarbonation of clotting factor? Vitamin K. What is the primary structure protein in hair and nails? Keratin. Which reflex causes pupil to contract when light is shining in one eye? The pupillary light reflex. Which chamber of the heart pumps blood into the pulmonary artery? The right ventricle. Which enzyme begins digestion of starch in the mouth? The milase. What is the medical term for the voice box? Larynx. Which thyroid organ gradually shrinks after puberty? The thymus. Which gas has the strongest effect on breath dive in healthy adult? Carbon dioxide. Which mineral is central to thyroid hormone synthesis? Iodine. Which part of the neuron receives incoming signal? The dendrites. Where are most digestive enzymes produced? In the pancreas. Which structure in the nephron is primarily responsible for filtration of plasma? Glomerulus. Which protein carries oxygen in muscle cell? Gives meat its red color? Myoglobin. Which hormone is released by the posterior pituitary? Oxytocin. What is the strongest bone in the human body by density and load capacity? the femur. Which organ is primarily responsible for detoxification and metabolism of drugs? Liver. Which specialized receptor detects change in blood pressure in large arteries? The baroreceptor. Which blood component is mainly responsible for clot formation? Plasma protein and the platelets. Which tissue type is avascular? The epithelial. Which muscle is the primary mover for hip flexion? Iliopsoas. Which part of the stomach secretes hydrochloric acid? The fundus and the body. Which condition is characterized by loss of bone mass and increased fracture risk? Osteoporosis. What is the maximum normal resting heart rate range for healthy adult? 60 to 100 BPM. Which structure stores long-term memories and is important for spatial navigation? Hippocampus. Which blood vessel carries oxygenated blood from lung to the heart? Pulmonary vein. Which hormone is primarily responsible for water retention by the kidney? The HD or the antidiuretic hormone. Which layer of skin contains sensory receptor? The hair follicle and the sweat gland, the dermis. Out of the 50 questions, how many questions did you get right? 1 correct answer equals to 1 point. Tell us in the comment section below how many points did you score. Bye bye. See you in the next video. Stay tuned.